my gosh, we're recording. Okay.
We're recording.
We're recording. All right. Hello and welcome back to Tired and Thriving, a podcast where we recognize just how tired and exhausted we all are while discussing ways to still thrive. I'm your host, Samantha Gray, and this week's guest is Kelsey Norden. Woo! First camera guest.
Hi.
Kelsey is a powerhouse director and storyboard artist, as well as dog and game enthusiast. She's worked on shows like Owl House and Muppet Babies, among many others. Is there anything else that you wish to disclose to listeners?
We've worked together.
We have worked together.
We met at Titmouse but we didn't work together at Titmouse until Strip Law.
No, we worked on China.
No, I think you left the season before I started. I was on season 3, and I think
I was on season 3.
Were you just kidding?
Just kidding. But that was fun.
Yeah, it was so long ago.
It was so long ago. It literally was.
It doesn't feel that long ago, but it also feels very long ago. It's one of those.
It was definitely the beginning of our careers, basically.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember Channel Illinois?
I have at least one friend who's like still a big fan and wishes it would come back.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Both of us. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it was not like, I don't know what's the word, but it was really nice being able to work together again.
Yeah.
On Strip Law.
Yeah, it was. Strip Law was like a tough one for me because I had a hard time like finding where I fit in humor-wise to that show. But it's like it was a great crew, and like I'm looking forward to it finally being out.
I know.
February.
It was because it was really we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, that it's like so that crew. I know was kind of derived from like 2 different crews that Adam, our supervising director, like worked on. It was Captain Fall, which is I think where you came from, right?
Yeah.
And then I came from the Velma crew.
Oh, right.
And those 2 kind of mashed together because like the designers for the Velma crew all kind of went to Greenhouse Pictures, or I'm not sure the name of the studio. The guys who made Green Street.
Yeah.
And then all the storyboard artists seemed to go to like one of 2 productions at Titmouse.
Yeah.
And Strip Law being one of them. So it was like. I'm gonna react to this cat a lot. So I remember it being a lot of like, I'm like very attuned to like what half the people here have like experienced with Adam, and then like the other half are like brand new to me. But it's a great crew. Everyone was really nice and friendly, and I like that we still meet up every once in a while.
I know.
It's really cute.
I'm going to call out Adam. I'm going to be like, Adam, why haven't you set another meetup?
Yeah, what about Sean too?
Sean, excuse me?
Where's the next karaoke?
Damn. Blast their ass on camera.
It's not on camera, but Arthur was standing right next to me for a second, just staring up at me. It was reminding me a lot of my dog.
Aw, I know. I consider Arthur very dog-like, even though he's a cat, but he's still a cat.
I am the opposite. I consider Miso being very cat-like, even though she's a dog.
I love it. Both of them combined. Wow, memories.
Wow, memories.
Memories. Well, let's talk about, we already kind of talked about your intro going into China, Illinois, but let's go a little further. What is your journey into the world of art and animation? Like, what influenced you and made you want to come into this career?
So my earliest memory of wanting to get into animation was in middle school. I was really obsessed with the show Teen Titans, which was on Cartoon Network. I think it premiered when I was like, I actually don't want to age myself, so I'm not going to say it. Because I'm probably going to say it, and then everyone's going to be like, oh, you're a baby. Oh my God. Like, that's the reaction I'm actually scared of getting, not the like, oh, you're too old, because I don't feel old. I just like, I respect some people in the industry who like are ahead of me or have worked on that show exactly, and I'm just like, I don't want to.
Wait, have you worked with anybody on that?
I haven't worked with anybody, but I'm good friends with, or not good friends, but I speak with Brienne Drohart a lot, and she was on that show. And I'm just like,
awesome.
you were one of the reasons why I'm in animation now.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's like crazy to have met her like in person now and have like bought some of her art at like art fairs and even gotten advice from her like occasionally. And now she's making a Starfire show, which is insane. So
oh my God.
Anyway, Teen Titans was a big one for me. I got really just like obsessed with, at the time I thought I was like really into superhero shows, but it was really just that I liked ensemble casts, I think. Because like, the other thing, I was also just an anime kid, so I really loved Sailor Moon and anything with like a few characters and a few different character dynamics between like, to like jump between or relationships to root for.
Yeah.
And that was where all of my like focus was coming in on like what I wanted to do with my own storytelling. And for some reason I thought that means I'm gonna go into animation. I'm not gonna write, I'm not gonna make comics, I want to animate shows, which took me a while to kind of figure out how I actually needed to like follow a path to get to like that sort of thing. But my high school was part of this school district that had like one central campus that all of the high schools in the district could go to send their students for like more kind of like trade school classes. And one of them was animation.
Oh my God.
So my senior year, I got to take an animation class at that high school. I basically like went to my high school, took one class, and then on my lunch break, I had to drive across town to the other side of town to this other campus so I could take an animation class for the rest of the day. And
during your lunch break?
yeah, well, so I got an hour-long lunch break because of it. Because they gave, like, I had the first lunch of the day,
Yeah.
and then there was an additional 30 minutes after that for us to get on the bus and go to the other campus.
Yeah.
But since I had a car, I just left during the lunch break, ate lunch at home because it was literally halfway between both of the schools. I would watch the Colbert Report, like that was rerunning from the night before, and then I got to the other campus and I animated for the rest of the day.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was my like the second half of my senior year was pretty laid back. So the teacher was a family friend and had been wanting me to like get into that class for a few years, and I had to keep putting it off because of scheduling conflicts.
Yeah.
But I finally got in, and I made like it was centered around like making two different short films. I think the first one everyone made their own like 30-second-ish short film, and like learning how to use Flash, because it was Macromedia Flash, I think, still at the time. It might have been Adobe by that point. And then it was probably Macromedia. And then I was like, wait, no, that was high school, so it was probably Macromedia.
Yeah.
But then, and then I think we did a group project after that for the second half of the semester. But I had to essentially cram 2 years of animation into one because I was in the advanced class, and I had to skip the basic class because of the scheduling conflicts I mentioned before. I basically was in band and I didn't want to quit band. So I finally quit it for the very end of my school year so I could take this class. And since the teacher was a friend, he's like, I'm willing to condense like 2 years of this class into one semester for you to be able to like take it, because I know how important this is to you, and I think that you're going to like really get a lot out of it.
Yeah.
So I learned the like principles of animation like very quickly, and kind of combined that with my little short film that I made about I think it was about a baby monster who's scared of the human under his bed.
Oh my gosh.
And I like tried to rig up a character. I had, because I remember him telling me he's like, don't do any color at the beginning. I was like, but I'm making symbols and I'm doing symbol animation, so I technically like I should be putting in the color now, because like then I can see them overlapping and it's not confusing. But I guess he had been originally just teaching like actual frame by frame drawing animation, and I was like the smartass who was trying to do like Flash puppet animation.
Yeah.
Because I'd been reading up so much about it, preparing for this class, that was what I thought I should be trying to do. But whatever, I made a cute little film. I think it screened in like a local high school like film festival thing with like other people from my class. I might have gotten an award for it, but I think it was kind of like I don't know, I don't remember much about it. Feel like there wasn't a lot of competition.
Yeah.
But the other interesting thing about that class is that it was actually split into a CG and a 2D class.
Okay.
So there were like 4 of us taking the 2D side of the class, and then like a whole bunch more who were all taking CG classes and learning how to model and stuff. And I think it was like called Lightroom or Light. It was like some like low budget like CG animation software.
Yeah, it wasn't like Maya or something.
It wasn't Maya.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like 3ds Max or whatever the other kind of like close enough sort of thing is. It was something pretty like, Blender wasn't around yet. If Blender had been around, it would have been that.
Oh, absolutely.
But we didn't have that. So, and Blender is like leagues above everything else now at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's free.
It's free. It's open source. It's great. I have tried to learn it. It's hard.
It's very hard.
It's intimidating.
I want to try and learn it like within the next month or so.
I need to take a class, I think.
Yeah, I probably do too.
I know the Guild is going to offer a new one in the new year, so I just need to keep my eyes open for it. But yeah, I need to like, I tried doing like the donut tutorial that you can do on YouTube, and I did really well up until the very end where I messed something up and the compositing wasn't working.
Oh no.
And I joined the guy's Discord to ask questions, which I really didn't want to do, and some people tried to troubleshoot it with me, and then they were like, I don't know what you did. And I was just like, you know what? I made it this far, and I learned some things, and I'm set.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm good.
I know it.
I'm good. It's good enough.
It's good enough.
Maybe I'll try to redo it. I really just care about grease pencil.
Yeah.
So.
Have you tried the tutorials from like the, I forgot his name, but it's like Dio
I did
Illustrate?
one that's like it's a juice box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that one.
Okay.
Which is like really interesting because it's essentially like sculpting a 3D object with a 2D tool.
Yeah.
Which I found, it's like those little pens that you can buy where you like draw like 3D, like, and they make like, it's like you're 3D printing with a pencil like as you draw, so you can build like an object like in real space.
Yeah.
But you're doing it with Blender. And so I did that. I didn't do much of it. I was trying to learn grease pencil so I could see if I could animate my short with Blender and not pay for a Harmony license. And then I decided that I wanted to just use Harmony anyway because my husband had already bought himself like a Harmony license like years ago that he wasn't using actively, and he was debating whether he was going to upgrade it anyway. So I was just like, you know what, the one that you have right now will cover what I need, and I'm going to be animating this by myself anyway for the most part because I know you're too busy to help me. So he helped, but he couldn't help like while I was working essentially. So. I just used an old Harmony license and didn't worry about relearning a whole new interface.
Yeah. Okay, so you had that high school experience, and then did you always know you wanted to go to SCAD, or?
Not exactly, because I just didn't know about California schools just to start with. I just didn't know about like CalArts or any of the schools on the West Coast.
Yeah.
I don't know why we were kind of fixated on looking at anything on pretty much like in Texas or on the East Coast, but that's just where I wound up like finding schools. And I don't remember how I found out about SCAD. I think when I first went, I did go for like a high school program for a week in like my senior year in the summer, like to like take some like workshop classes or something. And I know that's how, I think maybe we found out about the school by looking for like things like that I could go to over the summer. But I had applied there. I had applied to like a school in Texas that had an animation program, but it was like very CG and modeling focused, so it wasn't what I was interested in. Yeah. Because I wanted to do like story development. I wanted to draw, first of all. And they didn't have anything like that in Texas, but they had a few like CG programs and like that I was like having to consider because it was cheaper to stay in state and I would automatically get accepted because I was a smart kid. Yeah. You know, I was like pushing my parents to let me leave the state because I also hated Texas. I didn't want to stay there. I was like determined to get out of there by any means, and I'm pretty sure my dad didn't fight it because he did the same thing when he was in college. But what convinced my mom was that we went to visit the SCAD campus, and she was just like, yes, I would like to visit here. So it's beautiful. You can go to school here.
That's sweet.
So so that's how I ended up at Savannah College of Art and Design. Don't regret it at all. I loved that campus. It was beautiful. I say don't regret it because these days I don't encourage anybody to go to art school. It's too expensive. But for me, I needed the college experience. I met a lot of amazing people that I wish I were in better contact with these days. Beautiful campus that's like, we don't have a traditional campus. It's like mixed in with the downtown Savannah. So like you don't like get sequestered off quite as much as you would at like a state school, which is neat. But great 4 years of, trying, like pretending I'm really good at animation. It's like I went in thinking like I have to be an animator, right? And then slowly learned like, no, those don't exist in America anymore. It's not, you can't really get an animation job anymore. And I learned that like by senior year, I finally was like, storyboarding. I have to do storyboarding if I want to do what I'm setting out to do.
Yeah.
So it took me a long time to accept that. And then I finally like rerouted my entire degree at the very end. It was just like trying to like squeeze in as much storyboarding classes as I could.
Yeah.
And then like be prepared to apply for that when I graduated.
That's so interesting. Yeah. So did you like, is there any part of the animation process you really like? Like, do you like animating? And then we're just like, this isn't a feasible job. I'm going to go into storyboards.
It's like, the more that I like leaned into storyboards, the more that I think I liked it doing it more. But working on my short, it kind of reminded me that I did really like doing animation. And it was like such a weird, like kind of hopping back on a bicycle situation where it was just like, you never really forget. Yeah. Or at least I didn't. So it kind of came back naturally to me. And like, I don't know what it was about like animation in particular. I think it's just that like, I get more chances to like kind of like push past the boundaries of like what a human or like body can do. And like, especially even if you're trying to animate something that's very naturalistic, you still have to kind of break the form a little bit to make it believable because we're like drawing something imaginary.
Yeah.
So you need to like, you have to exaggerate it a little bit for it to actually read as what like the more subtle thing that you're going for, in my opinion. So like, it's maybe not like a huge like overshoot or anything, but I still feel like I have to like push it just a little bit more just to make it readable.
Yeah.
And I just like, I like cartoony things. I like not drawing like normal people, I guess. I don't know. But it was just like, I like drawing people and I hate drawing backgrounds. And the more I'm animating and the less I'm storyboarding, then like we're going back into people and less into background.
Yes. Yeah. Well, talking about drawing, animating, and your short, like, let's talk about Doggozord. Doggozord. So this is your latest short, which congratulations for getting into the LA Animated Festival.
Yay!
I keep wanting to say film festival, but it's not.
No, it's not. It's just animation festival.
It's just the animation festival. Big misconception.
Yeah. I've like typed that in incorrectly a few times already, like telling people to, and then I go back and edit my messages. I'm like, nope. I don't want you to Google the wrong thing.
Yeah. So. I like that it's short. Like if you just read the acronym, it's LAUGH.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they did that on purpose.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so can you give a log line of what it's about?
Doggozord is about when dog kind is threatened by the unprecedented rise of the moon. A group of guard dogs must rely on a gutsy little chihuahua to help them save the day. It's a lot to unpack.
It's a lot to unpack.
You really got to think about it and visualize every word. But it is one of maybe the beefiest log lines I've ever written. Like, there's so much like you have to like accept as reality right off the bat.
Yeah.
But do you want me to go into?
Well, okay. We talked about the log line. So, what was your inspiration in making it?
I had this idea a few years ago. It was around the time Voltron was airing, or not airing, like it was streaming on Netflix, the new DreamWorks remake of it. I don't know where over the time period of that coming out that I came up with the idea. I don't even remember what cued it. I just know sometime while I was watching Voltron, I was thinking, what if I did this with dogs? If Voltron was a dog, someone would have to pilot the tail.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was all I cared about, was like someone has to pilot the tail. So And that was like all I had for like a long time was just like, I have one joke, exactly one joke about this that I'm really fixated on. And I pitched it to a mentor of mine. I was doing like one of those WIA mentorships and where it was a one-on-one back when they still did those. And she asked me to like come up with some projects that I'd want to develop pitches for. So I came to her with a couple, and that was one of them. It was just like, I have one joke. I just think it'd be a funny short. And she did not seem interested at all. Oh, no. So passed on it. I went on and worked on a different project.
Like your own short, or just like?
I just like developed a different like show idea with her. And then. But it was always like there in the back of my mind. So until I finally decided to focus on it and actually write other jokes. But that was it. It was just like Voltron, tail. What do I do with that?
Yeah.
And that was it. Yeah.
Well, then what made you decide to do it like now?
So you remember there was a couple of years ago, there was a Cartoon Network call for like shorts pitches. So they were doing the cartoon shorts.
Yeah.
So that was happening. And I don't know that I was like really considering it right away. I know that I was out. I was just like, that's a good idea. I should probably try to submit to that. And then I was talking to my friend Aminder Dhaliwal, who was on the panel that chose who got to make their shorts.
Yeah.
And she was like really pushing like especially any women she knew to apply because they were kind of short on female like submitters.
Yeah.
So I remember having like breakfast or coffee with her, and she was just like really pushing me. She's like, no, you should really do it. And I was just like, I don't know, I don't have anything like special. I'm just another white girl who needs to hear another white girl story. She's just like pitch anything, just like go for it. And like she was gonna help me out. Like she said, I'll look at your submission before you send it in. Like just like let's like I just really want more people to submit. So and then I remembered I had Doggozord, like that idea. So I like tried to come up with like more of a story, and I developed like a little city of like called Happy Tales. It was like, okay, all the bathrooms are big fire hydrants. There are little free stick libraries. The Starbucks sells carob lattes and bone broth. Like I did all of this world building that I never was going to use again. But I was just like kind of like trying to put myself in a world so I knew what kind of jokes I was going to tell. And then like the original story was actually about it was not a Chihuahua. It was going to be a Corgi.
Oh.
Just because I was going for like a viral type of breed.
Yeah.
And Corgis are really popular, and they'll always be really popular.
They're so cute.
And they also have little nub tails, so I thought it was funny if the like whoever piloted the tail didn't actually have a tail. And then like had like 5 other big guard dogs that they were teamed up with. And it was more story about like work-life balance because all of these dogs were overworked and like really like hyperly food motivated. Yeah. And this Corgi was more like the therapy dog trying to get them to chill out. And that
feels relatable.
Right? I was leaning into straight up into like what I was experiencing with my friends, like what all of us are going through in the animation industry pretty much.
Yeah.
And I submitted that to Cartoons, and I had to go send them a few rounds of like beat boards to like kind of illustrate the idea. And Aminder gave me some notes and really helped me like, fix some story problems. And when I finally submitted it like for real, they said, this is great. We love it. We'd love to make it. However, we just picked up our last short of season 1.
Whoa.
So they're like, if we get a season 2, we'll totally take you first. And I said, great. Fingers crossed that happens. And then Zaslav appeared. So
yes.
They didn't even finish the program as far as I know. Like, there are still some, I think some shorts finally got screened at Comic-Con. Yeah. And I don't know where they're at now with those. Like some people I know are just like, I've seen a couple of them actually get screened at like Silver Lake Shorts Festival, I think, out here. So like people are like trying to do something with it. They just can't get it online or anything. Yeah. And I really wish Cartoon Network would just like throw it up on YouTube at the very least, because I feel like at least they could be, out in the world.
Out in the world. They could get some money off of it.
They could get some ad revenue off it. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping for all of them that, they finally get released. But I dodged a bullet.
Honestly.
I straight up dodged a bullet.
Woo.
I was like, I kept my idea. I took it with me into a sketch writing class. I learned about
sketch writing?
Like SNL sketches.
Oh, okay.
So I was just trying to take it to help like with, short storyboarding, like, or idea developing for short, like ideas for gags, essentially, just trying to like punch up that kind of humor writing skill. And then by the end they were like, okay, you can write whatever you want for like a web short.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm going to write my Doggozord sketch. So I did that. It went over great. I got great feedback. And I was just like, I made like a couple tweaks, but like I had completely rewritten the story to be, like crunch it down to like a nice tight 4.5 minutes of mostly jokes. And then I was like, I felt like way more confident in the story at that point than I did when I originally pitched it to Cartoon. So that's like another improvement, is that like I would have made a completely different story if I had stuck with the original pitch to CN.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that I had the chance that I was kind of forced, not even forced, but just like I had this chance that encouraged me to rewrite it.
Yeah.
And like I learned a lot more by that point, and it just felt like a more cohesive idea.
Yeah.
And so like, it's just everything worked out, I think. Like in the end, is that I got it to where I want it to be, and I'm very like proud of like the script I wrote and everything.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that you animated like most of it.
Yeah.
I
think like 80% of it I animated myself.
Oh, that's awesome. Did you get, because obviously you said your husband helped. Was there anybody else who helped with your project?
Yeah, so I didn't necessarily ask anyone. I took volunteers that approached me about it or mentioned that they would be interested in like throwing in some help if they could, because I was like, I cannot pay anyone.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to like just go and ask anybody to work on this, because they'd be working for free. But if they volunteer, if they ask if they can help, then that's different. So Michael was tied in because he's married to me and has to do what I ask. But my friend Mallory said, like, I really want to work on this. Like, I really want to do a shot or two if you can, like, throw me something. So I gave her, like, a couple acting shots that she did great with. My friend Abdullah Qassem, sorry, wanted to develop like all of the background styling.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so he just I was really excited about this because we had like pretty like aligned like design like ideas, because I wanted it to be very flat and graphic and easily replicable.
Yeah.
So that way like anybody could step in and help out, and he like knocked it out of the park. He threw together this really kind of comic book style that's like very vibrant and uses a lot of like halftone textures and like stuff like that. So it's it worked out really nicely. And then we just like kicked off a few of our friends like that I think like I had Katie, Sam, and Danielle. Danielle Law, Sam Hastings, Katie Prescott.
Gotta mention all the names.
You gotta say the full name.
Gotta name full names.
But they all like stepped in and did like, they actually all did quite a bit like of background design, because I was like, this is the one thing I cannot do myself. I need people to do the backgrounds for me because they will not look good if I do them. And they all like did amazing work. Like Sam especially is like my cousin and has been like, you know, kind of dabbled in the industry, but has been like kind of in and out. And, but has always like, I've always gone to them first, like for some like background work, because like we have very similar like, you know, things that we like.
Yeah.
So like they were on board and like adapted to it immediately and designed a lot of interior stuff for me. And then I went to Katie Prescott and I said like, hey, can you like design the actual base but make it look like Vasquez Rocks, because that's where they shot Power Rangers. Yeah. And like she did it. Amazing. It looks really cool.
Have you been to Vasquez Rock?
I've been a couple times.
I still need to go.
I went, I think it was last year, I went with a friend when he was in town. He was like, he said he wanted to come and meet my dog. And I was just like, okay, we'll go on a hike. She loves hikes. Have you heard of Vasquez Rock? And he freaked out because he's such a film buff. He was just like, absolutely, I have to go there. So we went to Vasquez Rocks. He took a lot of pictures. He was very excited. Miso was like cool with it.
Yeah. Was Miso ever in like the shot? Did you guys ever like pose her out?
We didn't pose her out, but we do get a lot of pictures of her on. She's like, she loves to be outside, she loves to hike, and she's very photogenic. So she's mostly just like, fine, I'll do it. But that was like the second time I'd been once before, like years ago. It just like, I don't know what it was. I think it was like, when he was in town, I was just trying to think of like, what's something film related we could do? And then I remembered, right, Vasquez Rocks exist. I bet he'd want to go to that. And then sometime after that, I was like, wait a minute. I need to put this in the short. Yeah. And that's when I like got Katie to help me redesign the base around Vasquez Rocks. Oh my gosh. So perfect.
Perfect.
It's the most like Power Rangers reference you'll get, because like I've mentioned to many people, this is a short about dogs, not about Power Rangers or giant mechs. I don't know anything about the mythos of Voltron or Power Rangers or Gundam Wing or any of those like mecha anime things. I did not grow up on that. Did grow up with dogs.
Yeah. And the aesthetic is cool. The combination together, like, is pretty perfect.
Yeah. I mean, it works, but it's also just like, if you want someone to make a lot of jokes about the robot, you're gonna have to get another writer. I came here to make jokes about dogs, and if I do more of this, I will ask for someone to help me.
Oh my gosh.
I have a very close friend in Texas who is like a huge Power Rangers nerd. I'm sure he could toss me some references. Absolutely. But the last person that I should shout out is Todd Donald, who is my sound designer.
Oh, nice.
And he actually, I need to get to the voice cast too, but Todd Donald was referred to me by a mentor because I had no idea who to go to for sound. I didn't know any sound designers. Yeah. And he had worked on some live action shorts for my mentor's wife. And so I hit him up. I was just like, I heard you did some work with someone I know, and I really need some help with sound. And I honestly don't know what to tell you, because this is like a big weak spot for me. But like it's about dogs, and we're going for a Voltron vibe, and we should probably lean into more of a 90s like feel than like anything modern. He was just like, I'm in, I have everything you need. So he was like so easy to work with, and if anybody needs a sound designer, please email me so I can get you his information, because he's incredible. I gave him, I was like, here are the shows that we probably need to run with. Here are some weird references from like Sailor Moon and other things that I'm familiar with that we might be able to tie back to. And also whatever real barking you can get in here, we need. And he like came back with like, he was noodling around with the soundtrack, and just like, he like would send me long like explanations of like how he develops like the idea for this like, for this one riff or like this one cue, and like the things that he tied together. And it was just like, this is like the way that he thought through everything was just like so incredible. Wow. And so impressive, and just like top tier. What a guy to work with. Yeah. If I make another short, I'll be going back to him like first. And then voice actors were all, again, friends. My best friend Allegra Clark is a voice actor in video games and TV. Oh, wow. She's been like in a few like AAA games, some like big stuff. And I was like, hey, I need a voice actor.
You're like, hello.
I'll give you some free artwork if you do this. She's just she probably would have done it for free. But she I
like they were just like, hey bestie.
Hey bestie. I know you can pull off like I call it her anime mascot voice, the like high pitched like, you know, if you're like the little like Luna Cat or whatever, like high pitched mascot for an anime girl, like that. But I was just like Chihuahua-fy it, and then she knocked it out of the park. But she's a pro.
Amazing. Yeah.
She's a pro, and she like signs prints at conventions for autographs. So I was just like, hey, what do you want me to draw? I'll like give you a print that you can take with you to your next convention. So that was the deal we struck. Her boyfriend, also a voice actor, was Walnut, the lead guard dog.
Amazing.
He gets the same deal, but he has not requested a print from me yet. But I remember I pulled him into the booth. I'm just like, hey, let's workshop this character. I don't really know what he sounds like yet. I haven't really thought about it too hard. And he like read one line. I was just like, perfect, absolutely. We're just moving forward with that. Like, no need to do anything else. Yeah. And then the last two were my sister-in-law, Dana Pacheco and her husband, John Gormley, also
I love
actors.
that it was like couples.
Two couples.
Just two couples.
It just worked out that way. Dana is, they're both mostly, they do like commercial and stage acting. They're more like on screen than they are voice, but they have done some like voice work. So Michael had told me that his sister could pull off the, what's the name of the head witch in Hocus Pocus?
Ooh, I don't know.
Is that Winifred?
I just know it's Bette Midler.
Yeah, well, he said like she can do a great Bette Midler from Hocus Pocus. I said, great, that's exactly what I want. So we took that, we like workshopped it a bit. John took the last character. He was and like I just need something that sounded like a dumb himbo. Also great, perfect for him, and it was set. So
that was the one that was like digging the hole and like
digging the hole. No, yes, yeah, the civilian with the giant stick who's just like, why is the moon after me? Just
trying to go for my stick.
And also designed after one of my first dogs I had as a child, Barney, who's this black and white Sheltie. All of the civilians in the short have names, you just never hear them because they're all designed and named after dogs I've owned. So I had Barney, Maya and Mocha are the beagle and the Pomeranian that show up on a picnic blanket, and I think Miso, my current dog, is doing Dirt Angels. So so we have some cameos from dogs I've actually known.
Amazing. And that's always great to like put them or just have those little Easter eggs.
Easter egg that for only me.
Only for you.
Only just for
you.
me.
Yeah. Well, okay. So how did you get your friends to even hear? I feel like when I'm making shorts, it's hard to like get people to be interested when you don't have really anything to show. But you did a Substack. Was it through your Substack that people saw it and then?
Oh, so you mean like people who weren't working with me, just like people who were following along?
Yeah, or like the people who volunteered. Or did they off the bat were like you told them about that you were working on this project and then they were like, I volunteer if you need
Yeah, it was I think everybody who worked on it, aside from my sound designer who I had to like seek out, like they came to me when I was just kind of like talking about it amongst my friends and being like, I want to make this and I just don't like, I just got to like get my stuff together and do it. And they were like, well, I'd love to help you because half of them were like unemployed and they just needed something to do. And the other half were like employed, but they were like, I need something more creative to do.
Yes.
So, Abdullah, especially like when he helped me design like a lot of it, it was mostly just it was kind of the collaborative aspect of it. I was just like, you're actually in charge, like you get to direct a lot of this yourself. So like that gave him, with all of that kind of room to play around, that was what motivated him to help, I think. And then, but yeah, I think a lot of the people were just kind of like coming to me and being like, I just want to work on something like fun. And like, it's like, the actual job is draining me. So it's just like, here's an opportunity. That's why I asked for I took volunteers and not like necessarily ask people to help because like I needed to like not burn anyone out.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
But the Substack I did, it was kind of just a I just did it so I could make sure I didn't give up. Like I was like, if I show that I'm still working on this every couple weeks, like at least like I have, something kind of tying me into making sure I keep checking back and keep showing progress. Even if like there aren't that many people reading it, at the very least I feel like I have accountability. And I won't give up. Because I have a track record here, and then like if I stop updating it, then that it's like out there for everybody to know that I gave up. So I don't want to do that.
Absolutely.
And I have to have something to talk about every week. So I've got to be able to like show that, which means I had to have worked on something. So that was what it was, an accountability thing more than what it was really anything else. I wasn't really trying to get people interested as much as I was just trying to keep myself interested.
Do you feel like anything surprising came out of Substack that you were like, oh, this is interesting, that it either, I don't know, helped you or maybe got new followers or?
I know like every once in a while I'd get a comment from a friend who would like say something about the animation and that would be encouraging, or they'd make a suggestion. It was just like, oh, that's actually really interesting, and I'll like look into that. So like I think it got me like a little bit more feedback than I was expecting. Not a lot, because I didn't really get like a ton of interactivity with it, but it gave me enough that like at least I felt like, okay, somebody's paying attention to this, and like I can feel a little bit of energy coming back to me to support it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say that, like, I think it made me sit in my thoughts a lot about like, and like kind of analyze what I was working on, because I had to write about it every week. So it wasn't like a super passive thing. I like had to go back and reflect on like the decisions I made and explain why I was making them. So it felt like I was still at least like thinking through everything quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I'd say that's probably like the main thing I got out of it in that respect.
Yeah. How long did it take you to actually like make this whole thing?
I started rewriting the short, like the iteration that it's in that script class. I want to say January. It might have been February.
Of this year?
No, last year.
Last year. Okay, so 2024, January.
And then I was designing and storyboarding through up through September, but I had a job with you at Titmouse during that time. So I was
and
like,
I was like, Kelsey, you need to.
I went up to you at one point and said, can I ask you about like your experience making High Moon
Queen.
Queen. I was like, it's Queen, right? I don't want to say the wrong one. I wanted to say goddess. It's a goddess or queen.
I think she's a little goddess, but...
Great, amazing. I can't wait to see more of it. Because you guys are making more, right?
Oh yeah, it's coming out so soon. So, and we have to start promoting it, but...
But I was like, can I scratch your brain about like making that? I've decided to make a short on my own about a dog mech, and I remember Megan, who shared an office with you, being like, Kelsey, why are you making a short about a mech? Or something like that, just being like absolutely like astounded that I would make such a decision. I was just like, I don't know, that's just the idea I had. So,
oh my god.
But I ended up never following up on that because I like just kind of figured out stuff
I was
on my own.
I'm just like, yeah, we never got to talk about that.
Maybe she forgot and it's fine, and I just don't want to bother her.
And here I am patiently waiting.
I was like mistake. So,
no, but I mean, when you figure it out, it's like,
it was just like I think it basically came down. I was like, I think I figured it out. I'll just keep doing this.
Yeah. I think actually, I remember you messaged me and I was like, I figured I actually don't need to.
Yeah. But like the whole time I was on that show, I was just like, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna save like the getting in really into the weeds of it until I leave, because I know I'll have a lot of free time. So I just made sure that I got through animatic. And I got through design, or at least character design. We were still like floating through backgrounds for a while. And then I started animating it like the week after I left Titmouse. And I was deep in animation, like treating it like a full-time job for a few months. A few months, because then like I did roughs, I did cleans, I did most of that myself. And then like I think once I got through animation, like the time I spent on it just started to drop like what I need to do, because like some of it was like I had to wait on sound, I had to wait on backgrounds, or like I had to like research compositing because I didn't know much about compositing.
So you did compositing.
I did the compositing. I wouldn't call it like anything impressive, because I didn't need to do a lot, but I did like Michael helped me like look up like what do they do for anime, like what kind of what is a typical like compositing pass like for, shows in production. Like I was figuring out what people even did, because I didn't really know what compositing was for, other than like it affects the color, or like color output or something, but I didn't really know what the passes were. So I did some light research on that, and then tried to like throw some things together in Harmony. Like I was trying to mimic whatever was done in After Effects in other programs, because I didn't want to use After Effects. I did everything in either Harmony or DaVinci Resolve. So I had to figure out how to make speed lines at one point, because I wasn't going to hand draw them. I just so like there was a lot of like having to jump between actually doing the work and doing the research.
Yeah.
And then like it just, especially over the summer, it was just kind of like going back and forth with sound design and like figuring out the last of that compositing and like how I even wanted it to look. And then I just finally like officially decided it was done in September of this year.
Oh,
so like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like learning does just push things farther, but then it's like you could just use that for your next thing. But it's still, I don't know, it just takes time.
I mean, and when I applied for cartoons and I was talking to Aminder about it, I remember being like, the big reason I want to do this is I just want to learn the process. Like, I just wanted to be like in the middle of it and experiencing every phase of production so I could like see more than outside of like where I was in the storyboarding part of it.
Yeah.
And
because you've like done directing and storyboards, but directing stays with storyboards.
Yeah, directing doesn't take you past animatic.
Yeah.
So I've like never been past animatic, and I just like, I especially like, I again didn't know what compositing was really.
Yeah.
And I just needed like to figure out what like that entailed. So, you know, I didn't get into the shorts program, but I did have to like figure it out on my own somehow. So it was a lot of Google.
Yeah, a lot of Google.
A lot of Google not responding to actual keywords I was using.
Oh my gosh.
When you search speed lines in Toon Boom Harmony, you really don't get any explanation of how the tools work.
Yeah.
There's a whole node dedicated to speed lines in Toon Boom Harmony, but nobody explains to you how to use it anywhere. So I was just like opening up this node and being like, I don't know what any of these buttons do, or any of these sliders, or any of these numbers. We're just gonna put in stuff and see what happens.
Yeah.
So.
But okay, so we just like went over composite and just, that whole process. I mean, just figuring out how to make a short. And I think one of the things that's really, I don't know, I think I want to get into like your kind of, because I don't know if you've suffered through this, but and you know, the whole reason why I made this podcast in the first place is the fact that like we get such big burnout, and just the industry works us so hard. And I know it took me such a long time to come back into drawing and actually enjoying drawing. And was Doggozord at any point something that like really inspired you and brought your passion back? Or was there any point that you're like, I'm still experiencing burnout, but I just really want to get this project?
It's both. One of my first posts on Substack was actually about burnout. Because I was still like, I was still bouncing back after the job at Titmouse. And like I think I was just still really tired and trying to adjust to like the new, actually, it might have even been before Titmouse, because if it was one of my first posts, it might have been while I was still in like design and storyboarding. So might have still been at Titmouse at the time. I don't remember if I started the Substack in animation or in design.
Yeah.
But but I was addressing like how I was feeling at the time, and it wasn't even really anything about Doggozord as much. It was just like, I just want to get this out there that like, it's rough, like, and I'm trying to do two projects at the same time, essentially, because I'm working and I'm developing this, and
yeah, I mean, it's so insane,
like
to be able to do a full-time job creating and using all your creative muscles, and then to try to do your own creative stuff, but you're still using those same creative muscles, like.
And like, so the part, some of the other reasons I've made Doggozord is that like I have been really just like frustrated that a lot of my career has involved having to work in adult animation, which I don't feel very attuned to.
Yeah.
And I want to work in kids shows a lot, but I haven't been able to get the attention of like those kinds of shows. So it's just like, if you guys won't consider me, I will just like prove that I can do the work.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just make my own thing and prove it.
But kids shows also is just like dying out right now.
That's the other problem, is that there just aren't any around.
Yeah.
And so like when I joined the industry, I feel like I wasn't that kind of savant, or like I didn't have that kind of drawing style that Cartoon Network or like those kind of shows really looked for.
Yeah.
And I got locked into adult really quickly. By nature of like the first job I got and this jobs that followed it. And because it's just like, sometimes it's just the people you know, and that's just the circles they were in.
Yeah.
And then after that, it would be like either the shows are dying out, or I just don't have the right connections. Like it was just like a juggling process. I got into preschool for a bit, which was like a little better for me as far as like a connection to the material. Like I felt like I got to do more of my cartoony style there. And that felt good, but I was still like, you know, facing the restrictions that preschool comes with. So it was, you know, I was getting like very frustrated and just like emotionally burnt out from like not getting to really connect with the material I was working on, like the way I would like to. So a lot of these adult shows like make me restrict myself on like my acting choices and my shot choices, and I just like really wanted to, you know, do something that I felt like was more in tune with my own style. And but at the same time, like I was going, I'd been working very kind of straight, like for years at that point. Like I hadn't really taken a long break because I'd worked a lot of back-to-back shows, and then in between shows I'd take like big freelance gigs that took up a lot of time still. So like even with the beginning of like kind of the job drought with the strikes, I was staying employed for a good amount of time because I was jumping between freelance gigs as much as possible, and I wouldn't say no to anything because I was like, I don't know when the next job's gonna come. So like I had kind of gone from like job to job without much break like for a while, and I needed the break, but I also was worried that I was going to feel like I was going to kind of go crazy from not having a job to do or not having something to make. So I was like, if I make my own short and I treat it like a job, then that's like both creatively fulfilling because I'm working on my own content, but I'm also like keeping myself busy. And I thought that will be fine because at least it's my thing. So I'm not going to feel like I'm working as hard. But then I still ended up like burning myself out really badly. Because I would like get to a day where I'm like, I just don't want to do this today. But then I would guilt myself into doing the work because like I didn't want to just like not work and like look like I'm just being lazy on my unemployment. So even though there's no one around to judge me.
But then we keep thinking like, oh, we're lazy. When it's like literally your body needs to rest. Like you just need to like take a little break.
Like literally my body is yelling at me lately. Like, hey, like you have to stop. Like I am addressing this actively right now. Like I finished Doggozord and I'm just like, I'm actually taking a break. I will look for work, but I will not actively look for work. If it comes my way, awesome. But I'm not going out of my way to take like seasonal work during like, you know, this season. I'm not going to like, email like everybody I know on the planet for work. I'm just going to like sit here. I'm going to casually apply and I'm going to rest because I need to. My body is actively upset with me right now. So I am like doing that. I have not sat at my computer for more than like 10 minutes since September.
Oh, wow.
I've been doing anything that I've drawn has been on my iPad on the couch. And right now I'm finally starting to feel like I want to draw again.
Oh, that's
like
great.
it's trickling in. Like I don't like, you know, every time I sit down to do like work, I'm just like dragging my feet and I'm not excited to do it. And like, if it's cleanup, I know my hand's going to start cramping and it's just like, you know, it's rough. But now I'm starting to feel like, okay, maybe I can have ideas again. Maybe I actually look forward to drawing them, like maybe a little bit. It's not like fully there, but I feel it slowly coming back. And like I'm trying to get ready for an art market next month where I'll just sell prints, and I'm just like, okay, I have some ideas. Like they're, you know, I'm not struggling nearly as hard as I have before to come up with stuff to draw. Like it's coming back. I have a big list of like one-liners for like potential comics to do with the Doggozord characters, so I can promote it like with those when I release it on YouTube. So it's like I'm just trying to like gather ideas and not like work too hard on executing them, but at least like feel like I'm, you know, generating things again. But I feel like it's been years and years since I've like really felt the like creativity like continuously spark in my mind. And it's like really hard to get that back.
Oh, it's so hard. I always like reference Kiki's Delivery Service because when you're a kid and watching it, I obviously didn't understand what Kiki was going through when she like lost her powers and went into the woods. And now as an adult, I think of that all the time where I'm like, oh my God, the thing that like made me fly, or, you know, I'm just like, I don't know where it went.
Yeah.
And it's just gone.
Yeah.
And I feel happy for you that it only took a few months, because for me it took literal years.
And I'm like, we're saying that it only took a couple months just for like a trickle. I don't feel like I'm, you know, back at all, like 100%, but like I know that it's going to slowly come back.
Yeah, but for me to even get a trickle, it took years.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like searching for a really long time.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I've been able to get the trickle back.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad the trickle came back so soon.
Yeah. Well, it's like I'm also trying to like do other things. Like I learned how to crochet and knit. I bake a lot. I'm trying to do other things with my hands that don't involve like a pencil or a screen.
Yeah. And that's really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still can't get myself to paint. I would like to paint, but that's like, I don't know, there's something about this getting things together to paint that I'm just like, eh.
That's me. I'm like, I have to set it up. You have to get your station.
I can't just do it on the couch.
Yeah.
If I can't just do it on the couch, then like, what are we doing?
We got to do the Frida Kahlo thing, like get a bed set up, because that's how she painted.
Yeah, because she was sick.
Yeah, so.
No, that's a whole thing too, though, to get that set up. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I dream of like, I once saw a picture of like some gamer desk setup that was like basically a reclining like 45-degree angle like chair that you laid back in, and like the screens like hovered over you or something, and you had like your game set up, and it's just like, I want that. I want to like be half asleep while I work at my desk.
Yeah. Like recline and just like drawing and.
Yeah, pretty much, which would be probably tiring for my arms. So I don't know how well that would actually work out. But
maybe there's like a rest that you can have.
There's like an elbow rest.
Yeah. So it'd be great.
But that's like, I just spend all my time on the couch right now. I'm like, if I can't draw it there, then it's not going to happen, because I don't want to be at my desk. I fought against my desk for so long, and I just don't want to be there.
Oh my gosh.
If I can help it.
No, it's true. I was talking with a friend recently. Shout out Felicia. She was on this podcast earlier.
Beautiful artist.
Beautiful. I know. God, her comics. But we were talking recently, because there was a point where like I couldn't draw on my Cintiq screen. And I couldn't figure out what it was. Like
you physically couldn't draw, or the screen wasn't working?
No, I physically couldn't draw.
Okay.
It just didn't, nothing was coming out.
Okay.
And she, like, even though I wasn't telling her that was happening, we were just on the topic, because she draws traditionally. And she was just like, yeah, when I sit in front of a computer screen, it feels like work. It reminds me of work. And I was like, oh, that's exactly what I'm going through. It's absolutely, you just feel like it's work. And so I've been doing more traditional drawings, and that's been, I'm like, even though it's still not like, I'm like zoom, 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 but at least it's like stuff is coming out, and I'm just, it's been a nice break. Yeah, to not be in front of the screen at all times.
It's easier for me to do on my iPad, because I have this weird thing where if I open up a sketchbook, I'm like, I cannot waste the paper. Everything has to be good. Like everything has to have purpose. And it's stupid, because I have so many blank sketchbooks because people just love, that's like number one gift for an artist. We're just gonna give you a bunch of sketchbooks that you probably won't use. And I've got like a pile of them on my coffee table right now, probably, and I'm just like, every time I'm just like, you know that you have more sketchbooks, you should finish this one so you can open another one, and I'm just like, no. Cannot waste the paper, so it's easier to like doodle out on iPad. Though like when I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna like study a movie and like draw thumbnails from that, or if I'm gonna thumbnail anything, it's like my brain is like, yes, we can do that on paper, that's fine. But if I don't know, like otherwise it's just like, You want to just draw? That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I feel that because it's like, I think for a while I was trying out, just drawing on, because obviously every artist has different methods, and I had friends that were like, I feel better just drawing on regular printer paper, and then other friends, who were like better with my iPad or a sketchbook, and I find myself jumping to too many sketchbooks. I have to start dating them now because it'll be like too many, but anyway.
Just whatever gets something on a page.
Honestly, yeah. Like,
that's the battle sometimes.
Draw on the wall, like. You're like, wait, hold on.
It depends on where you live. Are you renting? I don't know about that.
And so right now people can't watch the short. But is it because it's in the film festival?
Yes. Most festivals will have a condition that they cannot, the short cannot be online anywhere, like for the public. I mean, if it's online, it's like password protected, whatever, that's fine. But I cannot have it like publicly available to view anywhere in order to qualify for film festivals.
Interesting.
So, and I just started that process, so that's, it's probably going to be a few months. Short films can go like on up to a 2-year like run around film festivals. I don't think I'm going to take that long. I think I'm going to do a year max. I don't even know if I'm going to make it a full year. We'll see like how things start to shake out. Since I won't even hear back from most of the festivals I've applied for until January.
Oh wow.
So at the earliest, like some of them are even later. So because it's gonna just be some time before I really can like feel like I know when I want to post it online. Yeah. But like premiere is going to be here in Los Angeles, which I'm so grateful for. Because it's like, I mean, we had like a little party like for the crew, where I filmed it for friends and family, but like technically the premiere of the short, like festival wise, is here in Los Angeles.
Oh right, with Laugh.
At Laugh. And that was the first one I heard back from, and then like pretty much everything else I've applied for is like not going to happen for a while, because it's like I looked for early bird deadlines so I could pay lower fees.
Absolutely.
So it's just going to be a minute.
Yeah.
And like there were a couple that said like, yeah, you can be online, we don't care. I think Laugh was even one of them. They were like, we don't care, you can have it online. They'll take anything I think that's submitted, like from that's like, doesn't matter when you finished it, they'll take it. Most festivals are like, you have to have finished it by since January 2024 or something like that, like within the last 2 years. Yeah. And some of them are more strict. And I'm just like trying to see like what I can do with it, see if it'll like attract any attention or get me an award or something. I don't know. Yeah. I don't have like much of an internet presence, so I don't have like a huge desire to get it up online immediately. I'm like cool with like trying this kind of more old-fashioned like festival circuit and seeing what that does for me before I throw it up online.
Okay. Yeah, because it will be, you're more looking for like the opportunities, if anything. Yeah.
It's like I might be able to travel, like if I feel like I can afford like the stay to go out to one of the festivals that's like not, nearby. I'll like, it's an opportunity to consider traveling to them, like to network, stuff like that. Just, why not give it a shot? Is pretty much what I was feeling like. So
I love that. I feel like, do you plan on making any more future shorts, or what's on the horizon for you now creatively?
So I won't make another Doggozord short unless someone gives me money. Pay up.
Please.
Money, please.
Money, please. Money, please.
So yeah, that's not happening. I might make some comics. I think I mentioned earlier that I was thinking about making comics, either like as a Substack, like subscriber bonus, so that I can get people to give me money so I can pay for more festival fees, or just like to promote myself before I release it online, just to kind of like give something that's more shareable for, to get out there online. So I have like a slew of like just kind of like comic strip ideas that I'm trying to like just keep track of and see like, okay, let's see if I might start like actually actively trying to focus on that in January when I feel like I'm allowed to like rest slightly less. Right
Yeah.
now I'm just like, let's continue resting.
Yes. Yes.
But like that's the main plan with Doggozord. I floated around an idea about like something more kind of surreal based on like my experience with marching band that I've like wanted to maybe make a short about, but like visualizing that has been very tricky because I'm still trying to kind of, it's hard for me to decide like exactly where to lean into how I want to portray that.
Absolutely.
And that's the one that's actually like not quite just like a bunch of jokes. It's like actually trying to address like the stress that I felt through being in marching band as a high school student.
Yeah.
But that's like the only other thing that I've really like thought about, like something I'd want to make another short about. And that would be like mostly me. Like I would need to collaborate hard with a sound designer to like make it, because it would have to be musical, but like that's not something I would really expect to like get a lot of help on artistically. Like I would want to do it as much by myself as I could possibly handle.
That is very personal.
Yeah. And that could also just wind up being a comic too. But like considering that it would have music that would tie into it, it would be more appropriate as a short in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it as far as like what I've actually like thought about making short films about. I've tried to like develop ideas for show pitches. But like I don't have like a bunch of like experience in that area. It's more just like, you know, it's the dream to get a show out there. So I just like try to develop that in my own time. But like with animation the way it is right now, it's not exactly like on the top of my priority list.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to lean into comics because that's a little bit more achievable on my own. But we'll see about if somebody wants to give me money.
Money, please. Money, please.
Yeah. I would love to make another one because I did like making the short film.
Yeah.
But it's just like, realistically, I know now that I see how things like, how it comes together, it's just like, okay, I need to like sit back and decide what's achievable on my own, or like what I feel like I can maybe fund if I have to, you know.
Do you think people should continue to follow your Substack in order to hear any of these updates? Or how do you feel about, like, are you still using Substack now that Doggozord is?
So Substack's primary purpose, I am like going to be updating it less. And I've like alluded to that like in recent updates where I said like I might be less like around now because it's all pretty much going to be about festival updates. And that just isn't going to have a very typical like update schedule. I do want to consider, and if I'm going to start doing comic updates on Substack, and like if I'm going to put those behind a paywall so I can raise money for more film festival fees.
Yeah.
That's the main thing that I might consider doing. At the very least, like I will, you know, keep putting up, like every time I make it in the festival, I'll announce it there. It's good to keep an eye on it at the very least until the short comes out on YouTube, because I will like push for, you know, announce when that's going to happen on Substack. So it'll be the best place to find out when it's going to be up. If like you can just follow it and just like, it won't show up. You just won't remember that you're following it until I make that announcement, maybe, because I won't update that often. But it's at least like, there's a lot on there. I think especially like, I wanted to make that Substack for like younger artists who were like, you know, flirting with the idea of making their own shorts, or maybe making their student films in college. Because I'm like, here's everything I'm going through and figuring out, like maybe it'll help you.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like the other thing I was just really hoping somebody would get out of it. So it's like worth at least looking up, going through the archive, like seeing the process of it come together. There's a lot of animation that I have shared. But I'm sorry, it's not going to be very active right now.
For now.
Maybe I'll think of something else to do next year, but right now it's like, not going to worry about it too much yet.
Hey, that's fine. Yeah, you gotta take that time for yourself. And you did do something that not a lot of people like are able to do, or you know, it's tough making a short. So unless you're somebody that can like get on it, because we know those people that just are always thinking of something, and then they're just,
it's like time and money. It's crazy, like, because I'm sitting here thinking like this was so hard to do and like on my own, And then I apply for film festivals and I realize that they're like handling like thousands of submissions like per festival. I'm just like, where are all these coming from?
Yeah.
But you forget that it's much easier to make a live action short in a much shorter amount of time. And which is like, I think, like, which is why I've kind of leaned more into animation festivals, because like I'm competing with at least like something that's more similar to what I make. So it's like I'm not drowned out quite as much. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm making this up. I feel like I had a teacher in college that said like, festivals love animation because they don't get nearly as much of it. I'm like, is that true? I don't know. I'm just gonna, try not pay too much money.
Yeah. I think that might be probably the hardest part, is that you do have to like pay money for these submissions.
So it's tax write-off. Probably, I assume. I mean, it's part of my career. So probably a tax write-off.
It better be, yeah. Good to know, but good to have out there. It's like, if you're making a short, if you want to.
It's part of my professional development to make this short and submit it to festivals. It is a networking cost, and therefore I would assume it is a tax write-off. I will be double checking with my CPA in January.
Yes. I love it. Okay, well, we're at the point where I would like an animal fact, please. What is an animal fact?
I've been saving this animal fact for you since you started your podcast. Did you know that female koalas prefer the company of other female koalas over males in captivity? They are essentially lesbians.
I did not know that.
Yes. They're like, I'm safe. I don't need to procreate to keep my like species alive. I'm just gonna not hang out with men.
Oh, I love that.
Shout out to the Comfort Creatures podcast on Maximum Fun, because that is where I learned that.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah. Because it's like, I mean, there's always jokes, or there's always like, you'll see videos of people who are like, I'm going to make a coven, like, I'm going to, make a commune, and it's just going to be me and my girlfriends.
Yeah, koalas already did that.
Yeah. So that's like, it's just evolutionary, baby. It's in nature. Like,
I Googled this ahead of time to double check. I was like, this is true, right? Yeah, no, I found a few headlines that were all like, yep, lady koalas just like don't really care that much about men. So
I love it.
Good for them.
It makes me think about like the koalas who do the demon growl. And I'm like, ooh, is that like...
Koalas are scary.
They are very scary when they're like not drugged up.
Yeah.
Like, but...
They're like asleep like 18 hours a day, or am I thinking of possums?
No. I'm pretty sure
sloths.
I feel like both of them.
Maybe.
Yeah. Koalas sleep a lot.
Yeah.
So, and they all have chlamydia. All the women are like, we got these chlamydia from men. Like, we don't need them. Get away from us.
Anyway, but that was the animal fact. I was just like, if Sam keeps doing a podcast, if I get on it, then I'm bringing that one with me.
Thank you. That was a very good one. I love it. I want that koala life. Okay, so as part of the show, I'd like to pull out a tarot card.
All right.
Who knows? Maybe you need to hear it. So, all right. Let's see. I am going to use my Tarot of the Divine.
It's a good one.
I don't
have it, but I do love the artist.
Yes. Shout out to Yoshitani. And I kind of haven't been reading tarot as much, so I will be using the book.
Great. I haven't attempted tarot in a while now. I did join a coven for a minute, and then we stopped meeting up for a while. So, but we were really like riding the tarot train at the time.
This popped out, so I'm just gonna put it off to the side.
Just in case, like what?
it's kind of like hidden meaning.
Oh, okay.
So, but
I think I've addressed that with you before, where you're like, if it pops out while you're shuffling, then that's like,
Yeah.
Okay, Ace of Wands.
Oh, Ace of Wands. All right.
It's a paintbrush.
Yes. Ooh, yeah, that's very good. Let's hold it up.
I don't have beautiful hands, but I'm not a model.
I'm gonna bring it up. Okay, first I'm gonna show the Ace of Wands. I I'm sure I could zoom in, but
Yeah.
I'll put it up here. And then this was the second card that popped out, the Five of Cups, which has like a woman that's like wallowing.
Oh
So I'm
gosh.
like, hidden meaning.
Oh my god.
But
now I'm scared.
it's interesting too because it's like if you put them on top of each other, they are like,
Oh, a line.
yeah.
A vertical line.
Let's see. I mean, I basically know what the Ace of Wands is, but it's always good to double check, especially because like I love that each imagery with each deck is always different in terms of what the explanation is gonna be. So what does Kelsey need to learn today? So the Ace of Wands represents inspiration, a sudden creative force. The magic paintbrush embodies these qualities with passion and daring. The magical moment right before the ink hits the paper and all dreams and possibilities are within reach.
Oh my god.
Wow,
Is
excitement.
healing coming?
The healing is coming. But then let's look at Five of Cups because this is like a...
Just like slow your roll.
So Five of Cups, La Llorona.
Oh yeah, Llorona.
Yeah.
Llorona. I think that's how you say it.
The Five of Cups is useless regret without learning. Jealous of her husband's new wife.
No.
La Llorona drowns her own children. Oh my God. And now her wailing ghost wanders the earth. She continues to wallow in grief, refusing to seek redemption or happiness.
Oh my god.
This is very interesting because they're like two cards that are complete opposite of each other.
It's like, okay, so I've been having a lot of stress dreams.
Okay.
And they're all like reflecting on like either things that have caused me a lot of stress in my past or like that might like, you know, are happening like right now. And I feel like the Five of Cups is like saying like you're letting all of this get in the way of the Ace of Wands.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like there's a giant roadblock that which is like what you're trying to heal from right here.
Yeah.
And we're like that's your present and this could be your future if you can get over it or like work through it or however you want to phrase that. That's how I'm perceiving it right now, at least, just based on like what I'm experiencing in my current life.
Yeah. I also see it as, because it's really interesting, it might even be, because there's like a moon at the top, the circle that also is in
yeah.
the ace. So it could even be that like, if this is your current reality, this is in the background waiting for you to like touch down on it.
Oh, yeah.
Which you kind of just said right now. It's like, if this is in your way, if you're like too much looking at maybe that burnout or stagnation, if you're feeling that, or depression. Yeah, because even these little clouds are like covering the moon or the inspiration point. But once you can get to touch down into your creativity, it's gonna be fierce. Fierce. It also was saying to me, especially because this was like a hidden meaning card, that yes, you're probably gonna get like that inspiration soon, and just be wary of, even though you can have inspiration and, you know, this like new fuel, there's always going to be a chance of, to me, this kind of represents the burnout, the Five of Cups.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's like, just make sure you're taking care of yourself so you don't get into that space again. Or get into the burnout. So, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That was very like enlightening, honestly. It feels very hopeful. Like,
Yeah.
I think crazy.
Crazy. Okay, well, thank you so much, Kelsey, for being here and talking with me. Is there anything you want to promote about yourself? And is there somewhere you want people to find you? Like,
I've like applied to like nearly 20 other festivals at this point, so I'm hoping that I'll have more news soon about which of those might be like accepting me, or like there's more that aren't even open yet for submissions that I want to submit to. I'm just waiting. So any information that comes out about other festivals will be posted to doggozord.substack.com.
Okay.
And I'll also probably post about it on Instagram, which is mirakelsey.art. So I guess it's instagram.com/mirakelsey.art.
Yes.
But those are the two places I'm most active. I don't really use like other social media anymore. So that's really the only places that's worth following me on is Substack and Instagram.
Yeah. And I'll put those in the show notes. So that's also will be easy access. Well, sadly, we are at the end. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoy this podcast, please follow or subscribe. You can also follow Tired and Thriving on Instagram at Tired and Thriving, all one word. And thank you again. And I hope you all have a thriving week. See you next time. Goodbye.